Election Commissioner Mohammad Alamgir has said seeking vote for a specific candidate is still not allowed, but seeking vote for a political party is allowed now. Seeking vote for a specific candidate will be a violation of the Code of Conduct, he added. He said this to reporters at the Election Commission Secretariat at Agargaon in the capital today. Mohammad Alamgir said election commissions of different countries have been invited to observe the 12th Jatiyo সংসদ election. He said if Election Commissioner or any other official of Election Commission from abroad comes to observe the Election Commission will bear the cost of their stay, food and travel in this country, except airfare. Apart from this, observers from other international organizations and journalists will have to bear their own expenses, he added. Different political parties kept selling nomination papers today, targeting the 12th parliamentary election. Marking the occasion, leaders and activists from across the country thronged the respective offices of their parties. Trinamool BNP today ending selling of nomination form. A large gathering of the nomination aspirants was seen since morning at the Trinamool BNP's central office in the capital's Topkhana Road. Co-chairperson of Trinamool BNP, K.A. Jahangir Mojumdar, Secretary General Advocate Toimur Alam Khondokar and Senior Joint Secretary General Muhammad Aqqas Ali Khan distributed the nomination forms. Vikolpodhara Bangladesh started distributing their nomination papers among the aspirants today for the forthcoming general polls. Nomination seekers are collecting forms from the party's Middle Badda office in the capital. Secretary General of Vikolpodhara Bangladesh, retired Major Abdul Mannan, said the distribution of nomination papers will continue till November the 24th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Bangladesh Nationalist Front, BNF, has continued selling nomination form for the upcoming national election. President of the party, Abul Kalam Azad, said they will contest for 200 seats in the election. He said they will sell nomination form till 27th November. He also directed his partymen to collect and submit the form within the stipulated time. The increase in remittance flow is on the rise in November, like that in October this year. According to Bangladesh Bank, the expatriate Bangladeshis have sent over $118 crore into the country, amounting to taka over 13,124 crore in 17 days of November through banking channels. On an average, they have sent 6 crore 98 lakh and $65,000 daily. During the same month in the previous year, the expatriates had sent 5 crore 32 lakh daily. In October this year, Bangladesh received about 6 crore 59 lakh $19,000 on daily basis through banking channels. Experts say it happens due to incentives from the government for sending remittance through legal channels. The 4-day pause in fighting between Israel and Hamas is how we begin international news. The pause will begin at 10 a.m. on Thursday. Although Hamas confirmed the information, Israel has not yet commented on when the pause will begin. But Foreign Minister Eli Cohen said he expected the first hostages to be received tomorrow. Under the agreement, 50 Israeli hostages taken by Hamas will be released and 150 Palestinian women and children held in Israeli jails freed. The 4-day truce was brokered by Qatar, Jordan, Egypt and the United States. Israel's government, however, insists that this is not the end of the war, reiterating its determination to completely eliminate Hamas. Meanwhile, at least 100 Palestinians killed in attacks overnight and this morning around hospitals and refugee camps in Gaza. Israeli attacks since October the 7th have killed more than 14,000 people, including 5,600 children, and forced about 1.7 million from their homes. About 1,200 people were killed in Hamas's attack on Israel. US President Joe Biden said Tuesday he was extraordinarily gratified over Gaza hostage deal. Russia hailed the agreement as the first good news for a long time. Iran announced that Foreign Minister Amir Abdullahian will begin a regional tour starting in Lebanon. China expressed hopes that the move will help alleviate the plight of the humanitarian crisis, promote the de-escalation of conflicts and ease tensions. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said he is considering going to Egypt to help arrange more help for the injured in Gaza. Besides, France, UK, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt and the European Union also welcomed the deal between Israel and Hamas. Leaders of major emerging economies called for an end to Israel's war on Gaza and for a cessation of hostilities on both sides to ease the rapidly deteriorating humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip. In a virtual summit chaired by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, the BRICS grouping denounced attacks on civilians in Palestine and Israel, with many leaders calling the forced displacement of Palestinians within Gaza or outside the territory war crimes. The BRICS is made up of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. It wasn't just these 5 countries that spoke on the war on Tuesday. BRICS new members such as Egypt, Ethiopia, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Iran also participated in the meeting called by South Africa. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres joined the summit too. North Korea said Wednesday it had succeeded in putting a military spy satellite in orbit after 2 previous failures, as the US led its allies in condemning the launch as a brazen violation of UN sanctions. Reports say North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was on hand to witness the blastoff and congratulated the scientists and technicians behind the mission. The United States, South Korea and Japan all condemned the launch as a brazen violation of UN sanctions and said it could destabilize the region. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres deplored North Korea's launch of a military spy satellite into orbit. Now some other international news in brief. The White House said Tuesday that Russia's Wagner mercenary group plans to provide an air defense system to Lebanon's Hezbollah militants or to the regime in Tehran as part of an unprecedented defense cooperation between the 2 US adversaries. 4 parties have emerged as front-runners as Dutch voters are deciding who will lead their country into a new political era. Centre-right leader Dylan Jezelgos is tipped to win and become the first female Dutch Prime Minister.
Leader of Mark Rutte's 3-way race, a centre-left come kingmaker, as whoever wins the most.
Myanmar anti-coup fighters were battling the military for control of a state capital, Loikwa. Clashes across Myanmar have entered a 4th week, sparked by a surprise offensive against the military by an alliance of ethnic minorities along a swathe of territory near the China border.
Many of them surrendered to Indian police after they fled across the border.
Indian rescue teams cleared rubble with excavators and dug tunnels Wednesday to clear a path for long metal tubes, the hope for escape route for dozens of workers trapped in a collapsed road tunnel for 11 days.
September 2023.
The recovery of the ozone layer, which sits miles above the Earth and protects the planet from ultraviolet radiation, has been celebrated as one of the world's greatest environmental achievements. But in a new study published Tuesday, some scientists claim it may not be recovering at all, and that the hole may even be expanding.
And 30 gas emissions were controlled in 2022. The ozone hole has grown evil filter. It shields living organisms from...
Dengue situation is not improving in Bangladesh, as 8 died during the last 24 hours. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services said among the dead, 4 were in Dhaka and 4 were outside Dhaka. 1,162 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 229 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 933 outside Dhaka. Now, weather. The Met Office, in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow, said weather may remain dry with a temporary partly cloudy sky over the country. Night temperature may fall by 1 to 3 degrees Celsius and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country. On now to sports news. Nicolas Otamendi scored the only goal as Argentina defeated Brazil 1-0 at the Maracanã Stadium to consolidate their top position in the South American region World Cup qualifiers. Otamendi headed the only goal on 63 minutes before Brazil were reduced to 10 men following Joe Linton's red card. It was Brazil's first home defeat ever in World Cup qualifier, a game that was delayed because of a brawl between fans in the stands. To end the bulletin, here once again are the main points. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina calls on world leaders to immediately stop Israeli aggression in Gaza and to continue providing uninterrupted humanitarian assistance for Palestinians. A new political alliance named Jukto Front, led by a component of BNP Alliance Kollan Party, launched announcing its readiness to participate in upcoming parliamentary election. Jatiyo Party announces to participate in the 12th national parliamentary election in all 300 constituencies without joining any coalition. Awami League aims to resist violence and propaganda ahead of upcoming election. No effort to make the election questionable will succeed, says Obaidul Qadir. BNP rewards its men with money and promotion in the party for setting fire to vehicles, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Israel and Hamas agree to a 4-day ceasefire with effect from 10 a.m. tomorrow. And defending world champion Argentina beat rival Brazil 1-0 in the FIFA World Cup qualifier. That's it from the newsroom for now. Thank you for being with us. If you can, please do join us for our 11:30 news in Bangla. Until then, please keep your homesteads neat and clean to be safe from dengue. Khuda Hafiz.